and the trick golf shots, so that our next couple may not have time enough to play the complete quiz with you. However, they are standing by, and they have agreed to come out and talk to you and come back next week if the time runs out tonight. So I'm sure you're going to like meeting a nice, young, unmarried couple. Their names are Margot Rode and K.W. Shelby. So folks, come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome, welcome. Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word, and you'll divide an extra $100. Margaret Road and K.W. Shelby. Margaret Road, you look like a pretty dangerous road with all those curves. And why the uniform, Margot? Are you a letter carrier?
Not quite. I'm an airline hostess, and this is my uniform.
Oh, well, that's very attractive. Which airline are you with?
Lufthansa.
I'm all right. How are you? I say, which airline are you with?
Lufthansa.
What is a Lufthansa? Is that the helicopter service that flies between Glendale and Cucamonga?
Not quite. No, we fly all over the world, and it's the German airline.
Are you German, Margot?
I am, yes.
Are you a Berliner?
I was born in Berlin, but I'm from Hamburg.
So you're from Hamburg?
Yes.
You're a hamburger, in other words. If I had some ketchup, I'd put the bite on her. Who knows, maybe later we two could get together and get a bun on. You care for that joke, Margot?
Well, was that a joke?
You took those words right out of that audience's mouth. Now, let's see. I hate to leave you, but I'll come back to you pretty soon, you know. All roads lead to Margaret Road, it says here. K.W. Shelby, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know that song, Shall We Gather by the River?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
You've met Miss Road, huh?
Yes, just a few moments ago.
Would you like to take this road and see where it leads?
No.
Are you crazy?
No.
Are you just shy?
Well, no, I think Mr. Fenneman jumped to conclusions, and though
He also jumped at Miss Road when she came in. But that's another story that we can't talk about, yeah.
Though I am still single, I'm planning on being married in just a couple of weeks.
You're going to get married?
Yes.
What you're insinuating, in other words, is that this little girl isn't good enough for you, is that it?
No, I think she's very, very attractive, but, well, I'm engaged already.
Well, I hope you're very happy. I don't take this kind of resistance lying down, you know. I haven't finished with this romance. You'll develop a taste for hamburgers before we're through. Before we're through, or my name isn't Dear Abby. It happens to be Ella Wheeler Wilcox. Now, where are you from, Shelby? Shelby, it's in Montana, isn't it? That's where Gibbons and Dempsey fought for the championship.
Well, there's
you know
several Shelbys.
Were you named after that fight?
No, I wasn't.
No. How'd you happen to come to California?
Well, my hot water heater blew up.
Well, I'd save you a cheap way to travel. That must have been quite an explosion to blow you all the way from California, all the way to California. Where were you at the time, in New York?
No, I was in New Orleans.
Well, I guess it could blow you that far. Huh? Well, what did you have to do with coming to California?
Well, I was getting ready to take a shower, and there was no hot water. So I went out to the kitchen to see what was the matter, and I discovered that the hot water heater had gone out.
With who? Who was in the kitchen when you went in there?
So I was in there alone, fortunately.
Yeah.
Groucho, I'm sorry, but as we anticipated, we are out of time. And our first couple is entitled to a chance at the big money at the end of the show. So as we agreed, you people are going to have to come back next week.
Well, I certainly want to continue this conversation. I know you both must have a lot to talk about. Not only that, but we want to give you a chance to win some money. So thanks for being with us tonight, and we'll see you again next week. What's on the agenda?
Groucho, here are Grace Garrett and Chuck Lewis, who won $500, so they get a chance at the big money, and here they are, coming in right now.
Congratulations, kids. You know, this year, if you win $500 or more in the quiz, you get a chance to run your winnings for the night up to $2,000, $5,000, or even $10,000. So Pick a number from 1 to 10.
I'll take 6.
6. Put a 6 up here, George. And Chuck?
Give me 4.
4. That's your first number. It means if the number comes up on the wheel and you answer the question correctly, your total winnings for the night will be 10,000. Now, you've picked the number 4. If your total winnings will be 5,000 if that comes up. Now, if neither number comes up after the spin, the total will be 2,000. So one of you turn the wheel.
You turn it. No, you turn it.
Well, your numbers were 4 and 6, and it came up 3, so this question is worth $2,000. A total of 2. Here it is. In World War I, the 42nd Division arrived in France with every state in the Union represented in its ranks. For $2,000, what was the nickname of this famous Army division? Very famous. Talk it over. What's the answer? Well, it's the Rainbow Division, a very famous division. Sorry you missed it, but you still have $500, so that isn't too bad. Congratulations, and thanks for being with us, Grace.
Thank you.
And Chuck.
We ran out of time when you were talking to our last couple, and they agreed to come back tonight. Well, they're here, and just to bring us up to date, they were both single, although the young man did go on record as saying that he was engaged to be married. And, of course, you remember the young lady, an airline hostess for the German airline Lufthansa. So here they are again, Margot Rode and K.W. Shelby. So, folks, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome again to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word, and you win an extra $100. Margot, it's nice to see you again. When we were interrupted last week, your partner here, Mr. Shelby, was in the middle of some kind of a cock and bull story about a water heater exploding and blowing him to California. Now, let's start this all over again. What actually happened?
The heater was out, and I lit a match, and the kitchen blew up. The room
You went out the window?
well, no.
You said Schweinhund, and that's the secret word tonight. So you win $50 without doing anything. But you're not home yet, kid, and you win $50 too, huh? Well, now, what happened? It blew you out the window?
No, it just sort of blew me into the other room.
Uh-huh. Does everybody that gets blown out of a kitchen decide to come to California?
Well, no, this I don't know.
Well, why did you come?
Well, I'd lived out here before, and I wanted to come back. I liked it very much.
You were in New Orleans then, huh?
Yes.
And were you blown to New Orleans? Is that how you got there?
No, I got to New Orleans on a train.
Oh. What happened after you blew into town? Anything exciting?
I guess about the most exciting thing that happened was that I won a limerick contest.
Oh, you're an intellectual, is that it? What was your prize-winning limerick, do you remember, or are you lucky enough to have forgotten it?
Yes, I think I remember.
Could you recite it for us?
Yes.
She's never heard any of the great American poets.
I doubt if she will now.
Why don't we let her decide that?
Well, I think.
You may be crazy. You like poetry, Schiller and Goethe and all the...
Well, let's see what he has to say.
Yes, that's what I
like
said.
that,
Yeah. You can keep your nose out of this. I can talk to him without you butting in, you know. What was the lyric? Let's hear it.
Well, it went like this.
You blow hard, you.
On an island with nothing else but a coconut tree and a hut, two men and a dame played the triangle game till at last the swains met with rebut.
And you wrote this yourself?
Part of it.
Part of it? You mean this was a collaboration? Give us the last line again. That intrigues me.
Till at last the swains met with rebut.
Till the last of the swains met with rebut. Now, that's just like Heinrich Heine, isn't it?
Almost, yeah.
You like that, huh? Mm-hmm. What does that mean, do you know?
I don't know.
The rest of it is pretty bad, but that last line is terrible. How did you allow that to sneak in there, that last line?
That was the only line I wrote.
And that was the winner? You can imagine what the losers must have written. Well, what did you win for writing this epic? A revolver with only one bullet?
No, I won an island in the South Seas.
Who owned the island before you won it?
It was a British possession.
I knew the British Empire was breaking up, but I didn't think they were giving away pieces of it as prizes in a limerick contest. That is really a shrinking empire there. What kind of an island was this? Was it romantic?
Yes, it was romantic. The tropical moon and swaying palms and a nice coral beach. And
Margot, before you marry him for his island paradise, do you have any questions you'd like to ask him about the island?
Well, yes. How big is it?
That's a very good question. Who cares about the tropical moon, the sleepy lagoon? What she wants to know is, does it have any income property on it? Well, Shelby, how big is it?
Well, at low tide it's 35 acres, and at high tide it's 5 acres.
Well, Shelby, my advice to you is, the next time it's low, get out. Do you ever plan to visit this paradise again?
I have been there.
Recently?
Yes, fairly recently.
Why did you leave there, this paradise?
Well, for about 2 weeks it was very nice. We had all the comforts of home, and our food was furnished in pots and pans and beds and everything. And so after 2 weeks, the sponsors of the contest came and took all the stuff away. And so we were sort of left on our own, and we slept on the floor on straw mats and ate raw fish and drank tea. And finally we just gave up and came on home.
Could you give us the last line of that deathless line that won this island for you?
Until at last the Swains met with rebut.
Well, in my opinion, he got just what he deserved. Margot, let's get back to you, and none too soon. Do you have any boyfriends?
Oh, yes. Well, they are all over the world, actually.
Well, that's a very pleasant arrangement. Well, tell us about your job, Margot. For example, what kind of food do you serve on the air? Sauerkraut and knackwurst?
Sure. But apart from that, we also serve caviar and lobster and goose liver pate and
Goose liver pate, and two on an island. Champagne?
3 kinds of red wine and 3 kinds of white wine and 4 kinds of beer. Anything you want.
3 kinds of red wine, 3 kinds of white wine, and 4 kinds of beer.
German beer, of course.
Oh, sure. And you pour this into your passengers while they're up in the air?
Yes.
I have only one question to ask you. How do you ever get them down again? Are you interested in matrimony, Margot?
Well, yes.
What kind of a man would you like to marry, Margot?
Well, I guess, first of all, he's got to be handsome, you know.
You want him to be handsome, huh?
Oh, yes.
You'd also like him to be rich, too, wouldn't you?
Sure.
Well, I'd hardly say that Shelby was an Adonis, but he certainly isn't a dog. Would you be willing to marry Shelby?
Well, Groucho, I don't think I stand a chance. I think he's engaged, isn't he?
So what? Slipping 3 kinds of white wines, 3 kinds of red wine, and 4 kinds of beer? You take off for Germany without even going to the airport. Now, this is your last chance, Shelby. You really love this girl, and you want to marry her?
Which girl?
Boy, I got him on the ropes, I think. Say yes or no.
Yes, I do.
Yes. Margot, do you think he ought to go ahead and get married?
I think he should.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, good. Now you both said yes. I now pronounce you man and wife. And I do hope you'll be very happy together on that little island in the South Seas. And if you want to go out at night, you can always go out with the tide. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't get you two really interested in each other, but apparently Shelby is a loyal lover, and you have other plans besides. But that's life.
I have.
However, you're going to be partners at making some money, and that also can be important. So, George, would you like to fly to Germany with a beautiful hostess?
Yes,
And
it
four
sounds
kind-
great.
What?
Even without the wine and stuff, it sounds good.
Now, you understand this game? There are three kinds of questions, 100, 200, and 300. Now, these are the hardest, these are medium, these are the easiest. Now, you can pick what you want. If you went up to $500, you get a chance at the big question. If you don't, you just keep what you earn.
I might add you could get four...
Keep out of this, will you?
No, you get 4 questions.
You selected world capitals. You understand anything about it? You ought to be flying around all the time.
No, I don't know.
All right, you pick the first one, Margot.
$200 one?
Oh, you ought to be ashamed to take it. What's the capital of West Germany? I could make it tougher by asking her who was buried in Grant's tomb.
Well,
Who's buried in Grant's tomb?
Who?
What's the capital, the western capital of the capital of West Germany?
Well, it's Bonn right now.
That's right. I had a bun on the other night. All right.
You have $200, 300 more, and you'll get a chance at the $10,000 at the end of the show. Oh, a $300 one.
What's the capital of Liberia?
Monrovia.
Monrovia is right. We have one here in California.
And you now have $500, which means you're eligible, but this is on the house. Go ahead, take 2 more. You get to keep all this money, by the way.
The 300 smackolas. What's the capital of Burma?
Rangoon.
Rangoon is right. How much do they got now?
800.
Oh,
Go
boy.
all out.
Yeah, you're in now. You're in for the $10,000
Say, you win any more
chance.
money here, you may switch and marry her. Huh? What is the capital of Ecuador?
Quito.
Quito is right.
And you wind up with $1,100.
Congratulations, kid, and it was lovely
you,
having you
Roger.
up here.
It's been fun.